I just like the sound of it.
You are watching Green Links World Entertainment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you will be tuned in when we go live.
Is it the wrong time? Yeah, 50, like, man, you know, your brokenness is hurting everybody. You wanna lash out on everybody else because your life was
different because I'm integrating spirit in the midst of the conversation.
Why do you think, Dr. Candace, so many people are hesitant? And I don't want to say so many people. Why do you think that people are hesitant to venture down this lane of healing? For some
And it's like now I'm not my best self because I'm burdened by everything that's going on around. It's like now it's like it's a sense of freedom when you really get to a point where it's like now you can really help them. Mm-hmm. Now you really moving. Now you really getting your stuff together by focusing on you and getting right and doing what everybody got a gift and got a purpose here on the planet. Like
I tell you 3 times like a trilogy. Eating up his word and give me energy. Tell the filthy devil get up off of me. Saying you gotta pay.
Okay. All right. So today we're talking about real life impact, y'all. Not gossip, not just headlines, y'all, but real life things that's going on. All right. Policies and power moves that affect everyday Americans. What's going on, Miss Crafty, Sassy? I had to come back on because there's some real life things going on. We're not just talking about gossip. We're talking about real life things, not just headlines. So I wanted to come back and talk to, dive into SNAP benefit purchase changes. That's changed. So if you may be living in a state where it's already changed. Child care subsidy updates, the Clinton depositions. Listen, they thought they was gonna get Miss Clinton in there. They thought that they was gonna get Hillary up in there and have her stirred. She wasn't. She stood 10 toes down. And for any question that she felt wasn't related to her, she said to ask my husband. I know that's right, Hillary. I know that's right, Hillary. And Americans stranded in Mexico, y'all, they are telling people, if you are in the Middle East, they are telling you to shelter in place. Hey, Anna, they are telling you to shelter in place. Okay, so there are some travel warnings that you need to know about immediately. Okay, if you are traveling out of the country, ooh, good for you. Good for you. And if you are already out of the country, listen, it's scary times right now. It is scary times right now. The U.S. and Israel struck Iran. These are serious things that we need to talk about, Maria. Thank you so much for joining, Michael. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. These are some serious things that we need to talk about, y'all, because these are scary times. So let's get into, this fingernail keep grabbing his hair. Let's talk about what's happening right now, the timeline. Why is America even involved? I know some of y'all might be wondering that, like, why are we always involved in everything? Are we not suffering enough here in the States? But y'all know us, we got to get involved. So what's happening right now? The United States and Israel have launched coordinated military strikes on Iran, y'all. President Trump announced that he called major combat operations a joint offensive meant to hit Iranian military, missile infrastructure, and nuclear-related targets. Iran has already responded by launching missiles and drones toward Israel, and tensions remain extremely high. Now, I don't know about y'all, Shay. I don't know about you, Devaj. I don't know about you, Angel Morales. I don't know about y'all. But this has me kind of like, okay, what next? What should we be expecting next, right? Okay, Nugget, get down. This isn't a tiny drone strike, y'all. This is serious military action with potential regional consequences. Now, I know we feel safe here in America. I know we feel safe. I felt safe until 9/11. And then it was like, oh, we aren't as safe as we have been led to believe. So as we are going out here, getting into things that don't necessarily involve us, but we are involving us, as citizens of this great United States, we need to be aware of what's going on. So right now, I had to do a timeline. Like, what happened here? So the timeline of the escalation, y'all, and I didn't put up any charts or anything like that. I just wanted to talk to y'all about this and talk with y'all and find out, how are y'all feeling about what you woke up to? I woke up about 4:00 this morning. I woke up to, here we are. Here we are doing nuclear strikes. I'm sorry, not nuclear strikes. Here we are doing military strikes, y'all. This is, as someone who have children who could possibly be placed in the military, I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going, LJ Smith, not at all. So Israel and the U.S. engaged in a 12-day war with Iran back in June of 2025, Tamara. I don't know if you're aware of that. Back in June of 2025, that included strikes on Iranian nuclear sites and Iranian missile responses. A ceasefire later was brokered, but tensions remain. So this is where we are right now. On June 22nd of 2025, the U.S. carried out, and President Donald Trump spoke about this morning, Operation Midnight Hammer, targeting Iran's nuclear facilities at Natanz, Fordo, and Isfahan to degrade its nuclear program. So what President Trump is saying, they are not allowed to have any nuclear weapons. If you have been watching the news, that's what he's saying. And he's still saying that you are not allowed to have any nuclear weapons. So in late 2025, early 2026, which is where we are right now, the tensions continue rising. Diplomatic talks between Washington and Tehran failed to produce a lasting agreement on nuclear limits and missile restrictions, y'all. The U.S. moved significant military assets into the Middle East as a part of the buildup. Now, y'all know the biggest warplane has been sent there, carrying all the aircraft that's supposed to be fighting for us, with us. I'm trying to make light of this, y'all, but this is serious. This is serious. I'm trying to make light of it, trying to put some humor in it, but this is serious. Why is that up there? So right now, the concerns are the nuclear weapons. It concerns all of us. I grew up at a time where I remember the fallout shelters. I was born in the 70s. I remember going into school and seeing these fallout shelters and thinking, are we going to have to go down here? I'm already claustrophobic. I don't want to go in a school basement, but this is a potential threat that we live with day in and day out. I was the girl going into a home that I lived. My bonus father was a Korean War veteran, so we always watched the news. So as war was possibly looming, this is what was on my television all the time. So those nuclear concerns, yeah, that's that grit. I was eating some grits. I had to eat. I didn't realize that Juanita, I didn't realize that yes, you hear him in the background playing with a bottle, Devashna, yes. That was a good interview that I had earlier, y'all. So the U.S. has accused Iran of pursuing nuclear weapon capabilities, something Iran says is for peaceful energy use only. Negotiations over limiting that have repeatedly fallen apart. So President Trump is saying, no, they are not allowed to have any nuclear weapons whatsoever. And he's calling for the Iranians to take over your government. Take over your government is what he's saying. Y'all. So right now, there's missile threats. Iran's development of ballistic missiles that could potentially reach the U.S. allied territories. I'm going to reread that, y'all. Iran's development of ballistic missiles that could potentially reach U.S. allied territories and possibly American soil, because we are not above being hit. As we saw with 9/11, we are not above being hit. Okay. It's been a consistent red flag for Washington and policymakers. Now, you do remember, hey, Christine, thank you so much for joining. Now, y'all do remember President Donald Trump. One thing I can say about this man is he's not, if it is a time for us to be at war, I'm glad that we have him as president, because he is going to, listen, y'all, one thing for sure and two for certain, he got bully tendencies. And I listen, if that's what we need to make sure that the American soil is okay, I'm here for it, y'all. Seriously. I don't agree with us always sticking our nose into things. I don't. I'm like, what are we doing here? Right, Veronica? Hey, Miss Veronica. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we involved? We got people here that are worrying literally about SNAP benefits. And here we are possibly going into war. Iran supports proxy groups throughout the Middle East. The U.S. has claimed that this contributes to instability and threats to U.S. and the partner forces. Now, the U.S. also views Israel as a strategic ally in the region, so coordinated action with Israel against a mutual adversary is not new. So they got together and they was like, we about to kick some butt. What this means now, right now, Iran is not giving up. They're firing back missiles, raising fears that the conflict could expand into a war, y'all. A nuclear war is what I'm afraid of. And I don't need this. A nuclear war is what I'm afraid of. And this is something that we need to be paying attention to, because we have loved ones that could be possibly placed into a military service and they don't even want to be in. It kind of feels like what they were talking about when the Vietnam War came about. You know, people were fighting this war and it really had nothing to do with us. Right, Gerard? People was fighting in this war and it really had nothing to do with us. Russia and other global powers are condemning the strikes as unprovoked aggression, threatening diplomatic fallout. Y'all, there's a real risk in civilian casualties. And President Donald Trump even said that Americans might lose their lives. How do y'all feel about that? That Americans, Biddy, Solomon, Joan, Kaka, Lily, how do you all feel that Americans, good afternoon, Gerard, might lose their lives because of this? Y'all, we just have to talk about what's going on in the Middle East. We have to, because it concerns us. We may not think it concerns us because it has not literally been placed at our footsteps yet. But what is it going to take for us to pay attention? I don't want us to have something happen and then we pay attention. No, let's pay attention now to what's going on. Audrey, Lily, right? Don, let's pay attention now to what's going on. So I want to just change for a little bit, because the SNAP benefits are also something that is changing, everybody. Now, starting in early 2026, a lot of these things have already changed. So some of the new rules, Gerard said, I posted something about this, especially with the State of the Union address. I was not watching it, but I saw clips. I watched it. I didn't watch all of it, Gerard, but one thing I can say about President Donald Trump is he says what he does what he says. We may not agree with it because it's not for us, right? We are not the demographic that he's actually doing it for. He's our president, but to be honest, we are not the demographic that he's doing it for. He's doing it for that 1%, you know, those billionaires, and we are the casualties. That's how I feel. I feel like we are expendable. Is that the right word? We are expendable, Tina. That's how I feel. Like we are, because there's so many of us down here. I guess he's like, oh, they can stand to lose a few people. Oh, they can stand to lose their home. Oh, they don't really need those SNAP benefits. But yeah, we do. We do. So some of the changes that have been made as far as the work requirements for SNAP benefits means that able-bodied adults without dependents ages 18 to 64 must work. You must either work participate in job training or volunteer 80 hours a month to stay eligible. I'm not against that. I'm here for that because I don't agree with people just sitting at home doing nothing and collecting benefits when you have people out here literally working day in and day out, doing all of these doubles and can't even collect the benefits that their taxes are paying for. I don't think that's right. I don't. I think that if you are getting any type of services that you need to be putting something in as well. But that's me. I don't believe that people should be allowed, even with dependents. Once your child gets a certain age, take your butt to work. I had to go to work when my babies were 6 weeks. It wasn't no 4 months, a whole year. It wasn't no doggone maternity leave for a year. Shawnette, it was maternity leave for 6 weeks, 8 weeks if you got a cesarean. All right. 8 weeks. Shawnette said it's disgusting. I didn't even see that. She said it's disgusting. It's not about nuclear weapons. This is a play straight out of the movie Wags the Dog. Deflection from the files, yes, and trying to prevent midterm elections, yes. We were okay before he was cheated into the White House, yeah, yes, and then the audacity to say that they are trying to stop the cheating when it wasn't us doing the cheating. Should we go back to that election with Hillary? I still think she won that. How did ballots end up gone in Florida? Come on, y'all. Just pay attention is all I'm saying. Just pay attention to what's going on because I don't want to scare people, but I want you to be aware of what's going on. I don't want y'all to be in a place where you're like, oh, I can't go outside. No, you can go outside and live your life. Just be aware of what's going on. That's all I'm saying. Please be aware. Yeah. Shawnette said, but okay, Shawnette, I want benefits. I didn't apply 3 times and they keep denying me. I told that lady, I said, well, what you got to be deaf, dumb, and desolate? Like literally, you really, hey, love, hey, Janetta, you really have to be barely getting by to qualify for any benefits, which I think is so outrageous because it is the people that the people that are hurting the most. Not to say that people that are in the lower income are not hurting because I know it's not easy when you can't buy things. I get that. But I do also know that people in that middle class or middle to low class are also suffering because if you are $1 over, you can't get anything. And you may be one meal away from starving and they will not give you anything. They will not give you anything. It's hard out here. Okay. Please give me a benefit. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. So right now, like I said, I'm not against people working. I'm not, especially if you're able-bodied. I think that there's far too many people that when they were young, they were told you will never be able to do anything and you're just going to live off of SSI for the rest of your life. I think that was wrong for us to make people believe that when it's so not true. I've worked with people who have MS. I've worked with people who have Parkinson's. I worked with people who literally in customer service, their hands are like nubs, but they can answer the phone and they use other ways, other methods to get by, Alexander. And user 174-393-23121. Janetta said the able body has messed it up for those of us who need it. Yes, I agree, Janetta. I agree. Because there's way too many able-bodied people that are getting benefits and shouldn't. People will go out there and have babies just so not to have to go to work, which is crazy to me. Like, why would you commit yourself to an 18-year sentence just so you don't have to go to work? Grand Rising, Joanne, good afternoon. Love you so much, too. Thank you so much for joining. We're on here just talking. I just wanted to come back and talk to y'all about some of the things that's going on. This morning, I woke up to Iran being bombed. Yeah. So some of the states that have the expanded work requirements are Texas, Alaska, Colorado, Georgia, New York. New York, you have to work at least 80 hours. There's a few more that have them, but what also changed with the SNAP benefits, there are some states that will not allow you, and this is the states governing this. The federal government gave them the ability to put these food waivers. And there are some states that have enacted where you cannot buy sugary sweets and snacks with your food stamp benefits. As somebody who have bought plenty of sugary sweets and stuff with food stamp benefits, hey, best friend, I don't know how I feel about that one. Because everybody cannot afford to get their kids snacks and stuff. So if they can't afford it, should those kids not be allowed to get them just because their parents get SNAP benefits? I don't know if that's necessarily right. Should there be a limit to the types of things? Possibly, yeah. Should they be more nutritional? Yeah. But even buying things, hey son, I see you out there. Even purchasing things. I think about when my kids were younger, right? Everybody knows, or if you aren't aware, I had 6 kids, two sets of twins, and I can remember the grocery bill. And I can remember the time when I switched over from buying canned vegetables, not buying so much of those juices that wasn't natural. I used to buy Save-A-Lot used to have these huge hot dogs, these jumbo hot dogs that my kids love. Put some chili on them, and they loved them, until I realized what was in these hot dogs. And it was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't buy these hot dogs, right? Hey, love, I'm here now. Come on. And if anybody would like to join me here on Facebook, go ahead and join me. I'm recording this for YouTube. It's going to play at a later time. But if you're over here on Facebook and you want to join me, come on in. But I can remember the time when I stopped buying so many, processed foods for my kids, because I realized, a lot of the foods that we eat is what's causing the cancer rates to skyrocket. And we may not believe it because a lot of us have eaten like this forever, right? You give me some ham hock skin and it's like, oh, we fighting to see who getting a ham hock skin. Now, I'm not a chitlin eater, but I know plenty of people who like, don't take the last chitlin, right? This food is not necessarily good for us, but it's things that we've grown up eating and we love. I love me some ham hock skin. I don't like the meat, but I love me some ham hock skin with some black-eyed peas. I am in heaven, okay? I am in heaven. But that's not something that I can eat on the norm. It's something that I eat once in a blue moon. Shanette said, that's so wrong. Every kid deserves at least a cake and ice cream. See, that's my thoughts too for their birthday. And they should make healthy options more affordable. And that is my point right there, Shanette. I'm glad that you brought that up because I had veered off. That was my point right there. I can remember that transition from when I was buying those foods that's not so healthy, because you can go to Save-A-Lot and you can buy some cheese. It's all oil. The cheese is like what? Back then it might have been 99 cents. It was people buying that 99-cent cheese. When you cook it up, it didn't even melt because it was basically oil. That's not necessarily the best food, but that's sometimes the only food that some people can afford, right? Right? Like Shanette said, they need to make healthy options more affordable. Now, the healthier option would be to buy the better brand of cheese or the better brand of food, the better brand of bread, but that's not necessarily always available. One of the breads that I love is this oat nut bread. Well, that bread costs $5 a loaf. $5 a loaf. Everybody can't afford to pay $5 a loaf for bread if you got 2, 3, 4 kids at home, 5, 6 kids at home. Everybody cannot afford to purchase that. Hey, love, thank you so much for joining me. You put me on to something with that YouTube thing. I didn't even know that was an option. So after I get off this live, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you guys you got a delay in your back.
Okay, now that's gone. Can you
there
hear me
you
now?
go. Yeah, I can hear you now. What's going on, yes. Beautiful? Yeah, so I wanted to come back on and talk about some of these changes that's going on, because right now they're trying to take away a lot as far as what these benefits can pay for. And I can remember having birthday parties using food stamps to pay for, like Shanette said, to pay for the birthday cake, the cake and ice cream. That's so wrong. Every kid deserves at least cake and ice cream for their birthday. That is literally the only way some kids can get cake and ice cream is through those SNAP benefits. So do we say that child can't get them because their mom can't afford to go spend $70 for a cake at Wegmans?
That's terrible, but unfortunately, that queen is coming down to that. So now it's making us have, as the consumers and less fortunate consumers have to say, baby, maybe you'll get cake and ice cream, or if we're blessed, we have to depend on others and say, can you assist me in getting my child cake and ice cream? This is what the government is doing to us. This is what they're trying to do to break us down. That's sad. That's very, very sad. People are not looking at it in that format. So I'm so happy that you are sharing this today. Because it's real.
I don't know why I'm frozen there. Tell me, can y'all see me moving? If y'all are on Facebook, let me know if y'all can see me moving or am I frozen? My big juicy's all out there.
Okay, but wait a minute. On me, I can't even see you. How about that?
Really?
Facebook don't like us.
Oh my God. I'm going to go out and come back in. I'm going to invite you right back.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let me go out and come back in, y'all. But yeah, like I just think about what it was like for me raising my kids. I'm going to go back live. How do I add somebody? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking about what it was like for me raising my kids. Now, thankfully, for the most part, no, you did not just rip up my book. I'm about to choke him. He just ripped up my doggone brownie. He just ripped up my becoming book. Y'all, I'm about to jack him up. You better go. You go. I'm about to whoop your butt. Go get in the bed. He just ate up my doggone book. I'm so mad. Look at this. I cannot believe he is so disrespectful like this. Look what he did to Michelle. Y'all. It's my internet connection. Facebook just do not want to give me any love. And I got the doggone thing right there. Y'all. I'm going to end it over here and see if I can. Y'all, the things I be trying to do, it is not working out too well. I'm gonna try it on this phone to see if I can go live, because it is not giving me any love at all. I really think it might be my internet connection. It really is not going to start for me. That is crazy. Yeah. This is aggravating me because I know it's my internet connection, and that is just so horrible. Let me end this.
This is a Green Links Media production. Thank you for watching. Subscribe now and hit the bell to be reminded when we go live.